There are places on our planet that feel more like ideas than destinations. North Korea is one of them. It's a country shrouded in secrecy, operating on its own timeline, inviting curiosity because it reveals so little. My urge to visit wasn't about adventure, but about understanding what lies behind the curtain. What is daily life like for those who call this isolated nation home? How does a country function so disconnected from the world? To comprehend it, you must go there, breathe the air, and walk the streets. The journey begins long before the plane ride. It starts with the quiet whisper of a hidden kingdom calling to be seen. With notebook in hand and an open mind, I set out in October 2025, ready to witness what ideology had built and what human spirit endured. My goal: to see North Korea for myself, to witness, to feel, and to understand, one quiet moment at a time. The journey starts in Beijing, boarding Air Koryo, a step back in time with Soviet-era planes and patriotic songs. As Pyongyang appears below, green fields and rolling hills contrast with the country's reputation. At Sunan International Airport, the atmosphere is calm, formal, and your government guides greet you, your constant companions. From this moment, your experience is curated, not your own. The drive into Pyongyang reveals wide, empty roads, pastel apartment blocks, and a city that feels like a meticulously arranged film set. There's no commercial advertising, only murals and posters of revolutionary heroes. Your guides outline a packed, structured itinerary. Media group: North Korean guides with itinerary sheets. Tourist group at Mansudae Grand Monument. North Korean museum interior with guides stock distribute equally. Monuments, museums, model institutions. Spontaneity is not on the schedule. You're told where to go, what to photograph, and who to speak to. This is not a trip for the independent traveler, but even within these constraints, moments of genuine connection and discovery emerge. The initial feeling is disorientation, stepping through a looking glass into a world with its own rules. The adventure has truly begun. Pyongyang is a city of grand boulevards and monumental architecture, rebuilt after the Korean War to showcase socialist ideals. Despite its scale, the city is eerily quiet. Few cars, only the hum of trolleybuses and the shuffle of pedestrians. The architecture blends Soviet brutalism with Korean touches, like green-tiled roofs. The Ryugyong Hotel, a glass-clad pyramid, dominates the skyline, a symbol of ambition and struggle. Exploring the Pyongyang metro, you descend into marble-lined stations adorned with mosaics and chandeliers, riding alongside locals in East German train cars. In these shared spaces, you sense brief moments of connection. As dusk falls, the city remains calm. No neon nightlife, just scattered lights from apartment windows. From the Juche Tower, you see a metropolis bathed in sunset, the Taedong River flowing quietly below. Pyongyang is beautiful and melancholic, a city of millions that feels as peaceful and lonely as a small town. It's a living museum of 20th century socialist urban planning. At Mansu Hill Grand Monument, two towering bronze statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il command reverence. Visitors bow in unison, laying flowers, a ritual that underscores the leader's central role in national identity. Their portraits are everywhere, their history inseparable from the nation's. At the Grand People's Study House, citizens study the leader's works, and guides speak of them with pride. For outsiders, it's a fascinating immersion into a personality cult. The official history is one of struggle and victory against foreign aggressors, especially the US and Japan. The Victorious Fatherland Liberation War Museum dramatizes this narrative, with dioramas, captured American hardware, and the USS Pueblo on display. The tour is passionate, reinforcing a nation always defending its sovereignty. As a visitor, you grapple with this one-sided history, no room for nuance. The weight of history is everywhere, shaping pride, resilience, and mistrust of the outside world. Here, history is not just remembered, it's lived. Observing daily life in North Korea is compelling but challenging. Your experiences are carefully managed. You see people commuting, children in uniforms, families picnicking in parks. Life appears orderly and calm. In Moranbong Park, laughter and music feel genuine, but you're always aware it's a curated reality. Visits to places like the Pyongyang Children's Palace showcase disciplined, talented children, raising questions about those outside these elite circles. You're shown the best. A model society where everyone is happy and dedicated to the state. Guides share glimpses of their lives, but boundaries remain. Politics and sensitive topics are off limits. Conversations are friendly, sometimes personal, but always professional. There's no consumer culture, no malls, fast food, or advertising, just locally made goods and quiet department stores. Life seems simpler, less cluttered by material desires, but also marked by a sense of lack. The absence of commerce creates calm, but also highlights freedoms and pressures we take for granted. It's a reality both familiar and foreign. In North Korea, personal freedom of movement vanishes. You're always with your guides, never alone. The itinerary is fixed. Any deviation requires approval. The sense of being watched is constant, a reminder of state control. Photography is tightly regulated. Monuments and positive scenes are allowed, but anything negative or sensitive is forbidden. Guides may review your photos to ensure compliance. Interactions with locals are limited to designated staff. Conversations feel rehearsed, never spontaneous. You long for unscripted moments, but the human connection is always mediated. Despite restrictions, the experience isn't overtly oppressive. Guides are charming, and rules are framed as protocol. You exist in a carefully constructed bubble, shielded from harsher realities. It's a unique form of tourism, requiring patience, compliance, and constant awareness of invisible boundaries. North Korea is an emotional roller coaster. Moments of awe, like standing in Kim Il-sung Square or watching the Arirang Mass Games, are unforgettable. The scale and spectacle impress, showing what collective effort can achieve. But wonder is followed by sadness. The quiet streets, uniform blocks, and lack of spontaneity feel melancholic. You wonder about people's inner lives, their dreams and struggles. Questions you can never ask. Curiosity drives you, every rule and interaction deepening the puzzle. You pay attention to small details, searching for clues in gestures or brief, unguarded comments. Amidst the wonder and sadness, hope glimmers, in children's laughter, a curator's pride, or a shared meal with guides. These moments of humanity transcend politics and borders. Beneath the rigid structure, ordinary people live ordinary lives. You leave hoping that one day, North Koreans will share their stories freely, and the world will be ready to listen. Visiting the demilitarized zone at Panmunjom is surreal. A heavily fortified border dividing North and South Korea. The reunification highway, empty and grand, feels like a monument to a dream yet to arrive. At the DMZ, tension is palpable. A stern officer recounts the conflict's history from the North's perspective. You see the armistice table, preserved since 1953, and hear the rhetoric of American imperialists and South Korean puppets. Stepping into a blue conference hut, you briefly stand on South Korean soil. Meters away, soldiers from both sides watch. It's high-stakes tourism at the heart of a frozen conflict. The border is an open wound, a scar dividing people who share language and history. Monuments and rhetoric speak of reunification, but the dream feels distant here. The Korean War's legacy shapes millions of lives. Its unresolved tension is ever present. The visit is a sobering end to a journey through a country defined by isolation. Returning from North Korea feels like waking from a vivid dream. The outside world's chaos is overwhelming. Headlines and news now connect to real places, faces, and stories you've witnessed. North Korea is no longer an abstract concept, but a real place inhabited by real people. Engaging with it, even in a limited way, is bridge building. Challenging preconceptions and simplistic narratives. It's not about condoning the regime, but recognizing the humanity of its people. Every smile and question is a crack in the wall of isolation. Travel is a tool for understanding. a way to learn about others and ourselves. North Korea matters because 25 million people live there, their lives unfolding beyond our imagination. Ignoring them is accepting a blind spot in our understanding of humanity. The world is a vast book. Every chapter, no matter how difficult, deserves to be read.